We're starting with this, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it says one world. I go to that.
Yeah.
Fish in the ocean, all the birds in the sky, all the trees in the forest, all the clouds floating by, all the boys and the girls, all the squirrels and the squirrels, all the fish in the ocean, all the birds in the sky, all the trees in the forest, all the clouds floating by, all the boys and the girls, all the squid and the squirrels. All I know is one world we share. One world, what a world. One world, what a
Wonderful world. One world. What a world, what a wonderful world. All the doers and the dreamers and the young and the old, all the learners and the teachers, all the shy and the bold, all the Buddhists and the Christians and the Muslims and the Jews. Ought to know it's one world we share. One world, what a world. One world, what a wonderful world. One world, what a world, what a wonderful world.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. That was really good, but I think that we can do even better than that. Given this crowd, I think we can do even better. Do you guys think we can do even better than that?
Yes.
Yeah? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, Shabbat Shalom. All right, here we go. So, tonight, we have a special treat. Tonight, we have, because we want to be together, we want to sing together, and so we have a special treat. This evening, we are going to be celebrating not just our community, not just bringing in Shabbat, but we together are going to be celebrating the magic of camp. We'll get to that in a minute. We are also this evening going to have the chance to hear from our young people. One of the things that is distinct about our community is that we insist not only on taking the words of the V'ahavta to heart, teaching each and every generation, but letting the generations teach us as well. And so our 4th through 6th graders, they'll be teaching us about the different prayers, the different things that we'll be doing together this evening. And we also have, as a special treat this evening, our fabulous youth choir singing for us, bringing this music to life for each of us. Now, I think that there is a special magic to camp. When you walk onto that campus and you feel yourself surrounded by this space that is there for nothing but simply resting, enjoying, being separated from the world in a way that allows us to taste that sweetness, to enjoy the summer. And so I know that it is a strange thing, although we are Californians, so it's okay for us to say that we're going to have summer in February. But we're going to have a little bit of that summer together this evening. The melodies that we chose throughout this particular Shabbat are melodies that come to us from our camps. And we are going to have the pleasure of hearing different members of our community speak about the different Jewish camps that we all get to celebrate as a community. Now, if you have not been to camp, I want to invite you. Well, if you have not invited your kids to head to camp, I want to invite you to get inspired tonight. Camp is amazing. It's magical. When I first went to camp, I was so moved that I kept going to camp year after year after year. When Dory and I got married, we sent out invitations to our friends and family that said we would like to invite you to camp. there's a magic to it. And I want to invite us to take on some of that magic this evening. We're going to hear about all the different camps in the region. We're going to hear about all the different ways that we have fun as a community. But for now, we're going to continue with our service, reminding ourselves that year after year we revitalize the prayers in our liturgy, reminding ourselves that every time we open up our mouths to offer words, even as ancient as these, it is a new song. Let's sing together, page 13.
My name is Aubrey. Can you please join us on Having a Shiva on page 13? Shiru, Shiru Adonai, Shir Shir Hadash. Shiru, Shiru Adonai, Kol Haaretz. Shiru, Shiru Adonai, Baruch Shemo. Basru, Miyom Le'yom, Yeshuato. Unto God, sing a song. Let the whole world sing along. Raise your voice. Let the whole world rejoice. 'Cause we're all just singing a new song. Shiru, Shiru Adonai, Shir Shir Hadash. Shiru, Shiru Adonai, Kol Haaretz. Shiru, Shiru Adonai, Baruch Shemo. Basru, Miyom Le'yom, Yeshuato. Unto God, sing a song. Let the whole world sing along. Raise your voice. Let all just rejoice. 'Cause we're all just singing a new song.
I'd like to call up Michael Moreland to tell us about his experience at camp this summer. Come on up.
So this summer it will be my 4th year at camp. But last year was probably my favorite because I got to teach some people that was their first year all the camp traditions that I have gone through the past 2 years. And so camp is really fun. Every day is just fun, and every night the counselors do a special bunk surprise, and it's just they pretty much put on blindfolds, and then we walk to somewhere on camp, and it's just amazing. But in my opinion, Saturday and Friday are the most favorite days. Friday because on Friday night is the beginning of Shabbat, and we all gather in front of the dining hall, and we just dance pretty much till 9 o'clock from 6. And we do all these Israeli dances that we've been practicing for days before, and it's just a whole loads of fun. I once fell because it was going so fast. And on Saturday, it's very fun since that is when there is the ultimate frisbee, Cantors versus CIT game, and you sit there and you can get cotton candy, ice cones, or popcorn. My favorite's ice cone. So, and then you're just watching the game. I'm usually CIT. And you just watch the game, and usually it's counselors, but last year it was CIT's winning. And then I remember one day, it was a Tuesday, and then it was the last day, we did a very popular game, and an entire session did Night Fox, and it's an incredibly fun game. We did it at nighttime, and we pretty much hid across the camp trying to get to the top of pretty much where the Torah was, and it was just a whole loads of fun since I've been wanting to do that since the first day, since I did, and the second year I did on my second day, and it was just the most fun thing I've ever done. And I go to Camp Newman, and it is just the best camp I'm ever going to. There's no way I'm going to a different camp.
Thank you, Michael.
Hi, my name is Hannah, and please join me on page 20 for Lahado D.
Please be seated. I'd like to call up our fourth grade class to teach us a little bit about the beginning of Shabbat as we light our candles. So I'd like to call up Ryan Cherson and Emily Grajeda, as well as Maya Correa, and the rest of the fourth grade class. Come on up. I know you guys are kind of all over. Come on over. Who was explaining? Oh, that was me. Sorry, everyone. It's set for 4th grade height. Okay.
I think I should stand in the front. I think I should stand. I'm kind of.
I was talking about what prayers mean, why we do them.
I'm explaining the history.
Awesome. So you guys are going to do that in just a couple minutes.
Where do I go? For anniversary. We usually say the blessing before the mitzvot. That's why the Shabbat candle blessing is so important and unique. We do the opposite for this blessing. Instead, we do the mitzvot before the blessing. After you say the Shabbat blessing, it is the official start of the Sabbath. It is customary not to do any work or even light a fire. Traditionally, you can't do anything after you say the blessing. You can't even drive or cook dinner. You have to make or go get that stuff before sundown. Lighting the candles is traditionally done by a female, but nowadays it can be done by any Jewish adult. The lighter covers their eyes after lighting the candles. After saying that blessing, you can softly say prayers for yourself or others.
Have you ever wondered why we light the Shabbat candles first and say the prayer second? Lighting the candles signifies the beginning of Shabbat, but prior to the invention of electricity. It was also to provide light, so you didn't have to say prayers and eat in the dark. We light 2 candles on Shabbat to represent 2 mitzvot of Shabbat, which are remember the day and observe to make it holy. Once you light the candles, you sweep the light towards yourself. After expending our powers, we outward all week. We physically sweep the light toward ourselves, then draw energy back inward to its source. Then we close our eyes and recite the prayer.
page on 28 Bahu.
Hello, my name is Leah. Please join me on page 32 on the Avahatolam.
We'd like to invite our fourth grade to come up to our bima and lead us in our Shema prayer.
The Shema is the main prayer of daily morning and evening prayer services and is considered to be the most important and powerful prayer in all of Judaism. It expresses the very center of our faith. The Shema is an emotional prayer that one God exists. It is the final prayer of Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the year, and is said as the last words at our death. The verse of the Shema is from the 6th chapter of the book of Deuteronomy. Jews recite it in a loud and clear voice, stating that our God is one and He created the entire universe. With the Shema, we pledge our deep loyalty to God. The Shema is such an important and exceptional and emotional prayer that people recite it with their eyes closed or their hands covering their eyes so they can concentrate completely on this pledge. During the Shema, we say and believe that everything is God. When we uncover our eyes, we discover a new truth, that everything focuses on our one God who is all-knowing and all-seeing.
The Shema is a very curious prayer because of its second line. The second line of the Shema means, "Blessed is the name of God's kingdom forever and ever." We should be chanting this blessing very loudly, right? Wrong. And to understand why, we have to go back to the ancient temple of Jerusalem. When the Roman Empire ruled the land of Israel, it was forbidden to praise any kings other than the Roman emperors. Rome sent spies to the Jewish temple to listen to the prayers to see if we were praising God as our king. We whispered the prayer so they couldn't hear us.
Please be seated. As we continue our Shema prayer, we'd like to call up our 6th grade to teach us and lead us in this prayer. 6th graders, come on up.
half the prayer that we just sang tells us about when to show our love for God, but it doesn't tell us how.
Our class had a conversation about what actions can show our love for God.
We would like to share those ideas with you now.
Making good choices and having a good heart.
Teamwork and cooperation.
Going to Israel and caring for the sick.
Listening to others' ideas and being brave.
Taking care of the earth.
Helping others and attending Shabbat services.
Being kind.
Doing the right thing.
Helping your parents and including others.
Having empathy for others.
Respecting others.
Loving others.
Tzedakah.
Taking responsibility and being open to learn new things.
Thank you to our 6th grade for teaching us all these different ways to love God, to show love for God in our community. Can you hold up all the different things that you just taught us? All these different ways of showing love for God in the world, all different ways that we learn how to make our world a better place through that love. Thank you to our 6th grade. Thank you so much. You guys can return to your seat. We'd like to call our youth choir back up as we continue our service with the words of Mi Chamocha, page 40.
We need your help on this one, okay? They've never sung this before in front of people, and they're going to be doing this, but you guys can help because they might get lost, and if we're all doing it together, and if you don't have rhythm, it's okay, you don't have to do it, but if you have really good rhythm, this will help them if you just do this. One more time. If you're getting faster, don't get faster. Okay, you're good. Okay, Mattingly's going to introduce it, and then we'll get started. Go ahead. Do you want to say it? No? Okay, we're going to just get started. Let's try that again. Here we go. Yeah, put your sheets down. You ready? Mi hamoha ba'eli madonai mi kamoha ne'erda ba'kodesh mi hamoha ba'eli madonai mi kamoha ne'erda ba'kodesh.
Nora Tehillah, Osei Fele. Nora Tehillah, Osei Fele. Nora Tehillah, Osei Fele. Nora Tehillah, Osei Fele. Mi kamoha ba'eli madonai mi kamoha ne'erda ba'kodesh mi kamoha
there be love.
My name is Mattingly, and please join me on page 24, on page 42 for Let There Be Love. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashivenu, Shalom. V'ha'amidenu, Shomeinu L'chaim. Ufrosaleinu, Sukkot Yomecha, Hashivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashivenu, Shalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
We're now going to hear a little bit more about camp from Harlan Shatskin. I'd like to invite Harlan to come up and tell us a little bit about her experience at camp.
Okay. Hello, my name is Harlan Shatskin. I have been going to Camp Mountain High for 5 years. There are so many fun and exciting activities, such as my favorite, the ropes course, and Israeli dancing. I have made so many memories with friends and counselors that I still laugh at, such as when it was Shabbat and my counselor made me laugh when there was water in my mouth and I accidentally spit it all over the table. Camp Mountain High is a great opportunity to meet lifelong friends and try many new amazing activities.
My feet hurt.
Just like on the app.
Hello, my name is Sawyer, and will you please join me on page 44 for the Vishamru? And on Et, we are going to jump up. So.
Shabbat
We'd like to invite up our fifth grade to teach us a little bit about the Avot V'Givorot and teach us about how this relates to Jewish heroes in our Jewish values in our tradition.
Number one? Okay. I'm two. I'm two. I'm number four. I'm number four. Who's one? W. Two. Three. Who's three? I'm four. Who's three? Callie, you're three. Callie, come here. Three. No, I don't want to do that. Let's go. Who's five? Me. Did you know some people have to kiss one? What? Did you know some people have to share one first? Right? When did you go first? What number are you? I'm 6. You're 7. Okay. Yes. And what number is it? We're going to do the Avot. 5. And what number is that one? 3. 4. And 3. Everyone ready? Yeah.
Please rise. Please be seated.
In the 5th grade, Torah Center students began learning some of the longer prayers of the Amidah. This is also the year when we focus on Jewish values.
As we move through the year, we try to spot where those values are reflected in individual prayers and blessings.
Hagara HaTova is the value of gratitude. All of the prayers of the Amidah are ways of saying thank you to God for the good things in our life. Kahila means community, and it's a powerful value in Judaism. It is why we begin the Amidah with the Baruch, also known as the call to prayer. This short prayer has a simple purpose, to gather the community. We pray to God alone, but in Judaism it is also important to pray in Kahila.
Kavana is the value of intention. It means mindfulness when we pray. The Baruch can also help us set our kavana. We simply stand and ask God to help us with our prayers.
Havdalah is the value of distinct or separation. In Judaism, this is how we make things holy. For example, all days are important, but Shabbat is set aside because it is special. All of the service is important, but we begin with the Amidah by standing at the Baruch because we want to mark the Amidah as something special.
Is the blessing for our patriarchs and matriarchs. In it, we list the generations of the first Jewish family. It's also almost a review of Genesis. This is a blessing that reflects Talmud Torah, the value of learning Torah.
When we take a moment to name these first Jews, the oldest members of our family, we are practicing the value of Zachor. We are keeping the people who came before us in our memories.
We also taking part in the door to door, passing of knowledge from the generation to generation.
Shamanim is a Jewish value that means awe of God.
It's what we are meant to feel when we recite the Giver Out, a blessing about God's incredible power. But there are some things listed in the Giver Out that we should all try to do because they are Jewish values. One is showing hesed, or love and kindness. Another is Pidyon Shevuyim, or redeeming the captive.
And we can all practice Ahavat Hager, which means to show love, care, and compassion for the stranger.
Well, thank you to our 5th grade for teaching us about the values set in these prayers that we sing, that we say together. Thank you very much for teaching us. Yasher Koach. We continue with a song for peace led by our youth choir.
This one?
Peace across the mighty waters, peace to all your sons and daughters, riding in a rainbow across the sky. Peace across the thunderous mountains, peace through lines and walls and bastions, riding in a rainbow across the sky. And we will not wait for change. And we will not wait for change. And we will not wait for change to come around. Peace through morning's yellow rays, and peace at evening's purple haze, riding in a rainbow across the sky. Peace throughout your holy land, and peace to those who understand, riding in a rainbow across the sky. And we will not wait for change. And we will not wait for change. And we will not wait for change to come around. Peace through all the ticks and isms, peace to all of those in prisons, riding in a rainbow across the sky. Find it in your righteous stories, don't be fooled by dreams of glory, riding in a rainbow across the sky. And we will not wait for change. And we will not wait for change. And we will not wait for change to come around.
Shakoach to our youth choir. Yeah. I want to invite up our fourth grade. As we've had an opportunity to pray together, we're going to learn a little bit about what prayer means to them. Fourth grade, come on up. Let's learn with you about what prayer means to each of you. Come on up.
I think that learning the prayers is important because kids need to know them so they can be ready to have their bar bat mitzvah or to be a Hebrew teacher when they grow up.
Prayers are important because we are respecting God. God has created the world and nature. That's why we say God's name in every prayer. We are very thankful for God.
I think it is important to teach your kids about your heritage because the religion or heritage will pass on to the next generation. I think it's important to chant prayers because it helps you learn to pray but in a different way. And you might want to sing instead.
I believe learning prayers is important
because your ancestors have taught their children the prayers that have been passed down from generation to generation. I believe if you don't teach your children your religion, it will die down.
I think learning the prayers is important because then you can both teach them and say them out loud. I think it's important to teach people the prayers so that they can teach them and also say them out loud.
I think saying the prayers is important because we are reciting the commandments of God. It is also important because we must praise the life God has given us. The final reason is that prayers symbolize our love for the creation of life.
I think it is important to know your prayers because it can help you through your life and help you to read the prayers a lot better. Because if you do not learn the prayers, then you would not know how to read them at your bat mitzvah.
I think you need to know the prayers because when you grow up, you recite them a lot. Also, at your bar or bat mitzvah, you chant a few of the prayers.
My reason is that we pray for worship God and for making the world. Another reason is a good way to learn and speak Hebrew.
Thank you to our fourth grade for teaching us. Oh, sorry, one more. Go ahead, Miles.
I think that learning prayers is important because it's a part of being Jewish.
Awesome. Thank you, Miles. Thank you, fourth grade. All right. Loud and say, services are meant to awaken us. Well, we have a tradition at Temple Israel each and every time we gather for the first Shabbat of the month, and that is to take a little bit of time to celebrate these moments in our lives. And if anybody happens to have an anniversary or a birthday, I know no one would have a birthday in February, but if you have, we're going to start with anniversaries though. If you have an anniversary in the month of February, we'd like to celebrate you. So I'd like to invite you to, so this is anniversaries. I would assume that these are for people who are currently married. If you have an anniversary in the month of February and you'd like to share it with us, stand up or raise your hand. Let us know what the date is. Maybe how many years. Dory, close your ears. What's a good idea for something to do on an anniversary? Do we have over here? Okay, all right. Do I have? I don't, but I have an anniversary of celebrating February. Every year I celebrate February. In February. Okay, well, all right. So then I know that we don't have any February birthdays at all. None at all in the. Oh. So if your birthday is in February, stand up. Tell us what day. We're going to go around this way. Tell us real quick what day in February your birthday is. February 8th, February 11th, awesome. February 24th. 14th. February 14th, ooh, Valentine's Day. February 25th, awesome. February 15th. Ellie. Your dog birthday is on February 14th, awesome. Any others? Nancy, is that it's fine. Jay, Mr. Jay.
February 24th with my birthday partner.
All right, February 24th. All right, well, let's celebrate this moment. Let's sing together. Maybe a little bit of happy birthday, a little Shechianu. Let's all join together in singing Shechianu, in singing happy birthday.
Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach,
Yom Uledet Sameach. Woo! Skip around the room, no, sorry, that's only a camp. So let's sing, let's sing together, being brought together for this moment, celebrating this day in February, these major moments in February. Let's sing the Shechianu all together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Happy birthday, everyone. So, we know that not only do we add to celebrations when we come together, but we find strength in being with each other as well. And so our thoughts turn now to those in our community who are in need of healing. Now, if you're joining us this evening online, I'd like to invite you to share the names of those that you are thinking of in the chat at this time. And for all of us, I invite us to turn to our handouts. And in the handout, you'll find a list of those in our community who are in need of healing. Now, one of the values that we have as a community is being with people who are sick, who are ill, because there is a physical healing that happens whenever we are sick, but there's also a part of wanting to just feel a little bit better. And when we are with a friend, when we make a phone call, we send a text, or we just tell a friend that we're thinking of them, that can help add to the healing. That's an important part of healing. And so I invite all of us to look at the list of people who are on our handouts. And if there's someone that you know, someone that you might want to reach out to, go ahead and do that. Our prayer is meant always to lead us to action, to inspire us to do. And so I invite our prayer that we offer this evening to inspire that particular act of healing. I'd like to invite us also to call to mind and bring to our hearts, especially those who have recently come onto our Mishaberach list. So together we think of Cheryl Aviram and Carol Kalichman, Kim DeSellis and Harriet Ellis, Joel Epstein and Janet Liss, Chaim Joe Adler and Leon Blanche, Sister Ann Davis and Cassandra Diaz, Elizabeth Gold, Shane Hernandez, Jamie Hyde, Mike Locke, Mike Nadelson, Sidney Pewter, Candy Stevens. If you're here in our sanctuary and you're thinking of someone and you want to say their name out loud so that we can all think of that person as well, and perhaps think of you in your role in bringing them strength, I'd like to invite you to share their name aloud as my eyes pass across our sanctuary. I'd like to invite all of us to turn to page 253 of our prayer books. Let's offer words of healing, words of strength together.
Mi sheberach make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Well, as we introduce our speakers this evening, I'd like to call up Sharon Amster Brown to introduce and welcome those teaching us about camp tonight.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Wonderful to be with all of you, to see our sanctuary full. It's we don't take it for granted after our COVID times to be able to see so many people here and to see so many of your faces. Your full faces is really nice as well. I want to thank our 4th, 5th, and 6th grade teachers, Rochelle Anderson, Rachel Kelson, and Linda Ackerman-Berman, for their continued hard work with our students. You can give them a round of applause. And also their dedicated madrechim that work in our classrooms on Sunday mornings. Thank you so much to our teens. I have a lot of reasons why I chose the work I get to do as a Jewish educator. But really one of the main reasons I chose this work was due to my time spent at Jewish summer camp. Yes, I believe very strongly in the power of religious school and synagogue community, of course. But they do say, and I think that they are right, that the number one determining factor for Jewish identity as an adult is time spent at Jewish summer camp. So as much as we try really hard here, and we do a really great job, I think, but the Jewish summer camps are our number one partners in helping to create Jewish adults in the future. I grew up at a camp in Wisconsin called Olin Sang Ruby Union Institute, shortened it by Osrui. Yes, we actually have a student. Danny actually goes to Olin Sang Ruby in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. But I think you're the only one in my 23 years here who's ever gone to Osrui. But it is part of the URJ camping system. We're very lucky in California to have many camp options. We have our URJ camp partners from whom you're going to hear this evening, and we also have other summer camps that many of our students also attend. I want to encourage all of you, no matter what age you are, well, you have to be children, to be children, like high school and under, to consider going to camp. It's I was gonna say it's never too late, but at some point, like when you're like 17 or 18, it's too late. But before that, it's not too late to start going to camp. Parents, I know that sending your kids away to sleepaway camp may feel like a big risk. But I'm here to tell you, and many of the parents whose kids go to sleepaway camp, I can see are nodding their heads, it is worth that risk. It's worth the time investment and the financial investment to send your kids for 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, or in the case of my kids when they get older, 8 weeks to Jewish summer camp. I also have the blessing of serving on camp faculty at URJ Camp Newman, so I get to see as a grown-up what camp looks like, and as a mom, and I'm telling you that they create magic at these places. So I'm very happy to speak with you about our various summer camp options in Southern California and in Northern California and on the East Coast, because today we're going to hear about some of our URJ specialty camps, which focus on the arts and science and sports that are located on the East Coast. And that too is worth the risk to get on a plane to go experience the joys of summer camp. So it's my pleasure this evening to welcome to our sanctuary Jesse Shamut, who's the brand new newly appointed Associate Director of URJ Camp Newman, and Sydney Rosenberg, the Assistant Director of URJ 6 Points Sports in North Carolina. Come on up, lady. Please, let's give them a warm welcome.
Hi, everyone. I took a lovely 6-hour plane ride this morning to be here with y'all from New Jersey. So on that wonderful flight, so yeah, right now it's like 10 o'clock at night for me, so I'm going to keep it energized, but I got to write this lovely thing about camp. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm Sydney Rosenberg, and I'm also the new assistant director at 6 Point Sports Academy. So while this is my first summer there, it's actually my 20th summer involved in camps in general. I grew up going to camp since I was 4 years old, and happy to be here and talking to y'all about it. But while I am sporting the 6 Point Sports Academy gear, because that's where I will be in the summer, I'm also representing SciTech and Creative Arts Academy. So several years ago, the URJ learned that we needed another way to engage children in specific areas. We have a lot of kids that go to the regional camps and wanted a little bit more specific things to be doing during camp. So we opened 6 Point Sports Academy, where we focus in sports. We have head coaches that are working with college athletes during the year for our kids to train during the summer. We opened 6 Point Sports Academy. This is going to be our 14th summer, and now we welcome over 800 kids from across the entire country who share a love for Judaism and sports. So for that camper that's looking to find a place for their Jewish and sports passion, 6 Point Sports Academy has become the opportunity to explore both faith and athletics, and what we say there is we never stop being Jewish to be athletes, and we never stop being athletes to be Jewish. Next came SciTech, which is located outside of Boston. Campers have a place to ask their big questions and satiate their thirst to learn and explore. And SciTech, it's pretty cool. They blow something up every morning. It's called Boker Big Bang, and it's very cool, and I wish I was there to see it every morning. But so they do that to connect their love of science and Judaism, and they bring in professionals from the science field. They have professors from MIT come to work on the workshop with those campers. And most recently to the 6 Points specialty camps family came Creative Arts, which is outside of Philadelphia. For the artists in your family, there's opportunities to engage in new ways with their creativity and spirituality. Creative Arts Academy encourages every camper to find what makes each of them unique and bring that to that community every day. I will note we did have a 6 Point Sports Academy West and a SciTech Academy West, and we are also feeling that loss as well. So for our families who are part of that community, we are here to help you find your camper's new summer home. And then one thing that's really cool about all of the 6 Points camps, they're all located on beautiful boarding school campuses. So all of our campers live with one other camper. They have air-conditioned rooms. It's very cool. We keep that bunk atmosphere kind of set up. They're 3 12-day sessions, so it's much shorter than the typical camp, and it allows campers to do a lot of things and go to other camps that they grew up with, or go on vacation, or whatever everybody's family does during the summer. But campers as young as 2nd grade can start coming to camp and have the opportunity to begin engaging with the passions and hobbies in a way that's both uniquely Jewish, and participate in programs that are designed to make them better athletes, scientists, artists, and most importantly, help create the next generation of Jewish leaders. So with that said, I'll be outside at the end of this whole thing if you have any questions. The URJ specifically also has funds set aside for our West Coast families to help kind of offset the price of travel of getting campers from the West Coast over to us. But again, I will be outside if you have any questions, and I'll pass you to Jesse.
All right, thank you, Sydney. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
All right, I'm here to chat with you about URJ Camp Newman. And while Sydney may have flown 6 hours and you all think that's really impressive, I drove from Pasadena to be here. Now, I ask you, who's the real hero? Okay. So, do I have any Newman friends in the room? All right. Do I have any Swig friends in the room? All right. And I saw one Saratoga friend. Where'd she go? She was here, I promise. I mean, she was real to me. Fantastic. And we've got some former 6 Points folks in the room. Awesome. All right. So obviously you've heard a lot tonight from our campers, from Sharon, from your rabbis, that camp is a really, really special place. And it is. And I could tell you about it, but you're probably like, who's this old lady up there talking about what is special? So is it okay if I just tell a little story? Is that okay? You're not getting a sermon tonight. A story's okay, yeah? All right. How many of you have heard the story about the blind men and the elephant? You all right? You've heard it. Yeah. How many of you have heard me tell it? No, probably not. All right. That's good. So picture this. There's 5 blind men hanging out in a park, and a man walks by with an elephant. And he says to the blind men, he says, have you ever seen an elephant? Have you ever touched an elephant? Come and meet my elephant. What's the elephant's name? You pick. What's the elephant's name? Literally any name. There's no wrong answers. Bob the elephant. Great. So come meet Bob the elephant. And so the blind men come up, and one touches his trunk. And he says, oh, this elephant must be like a tree. It's got a long vine. And another man touches the side of the elephant, and he says, you're bonkers. Bob's not a tree. He's a wall. He touches the side, the big side of an elephant. Another one grabs one of the elephant's legs, and he says, no, you're both wrong. He's a column, like he's a pillar. And then the last one, the next one says, no, as he gets swished with the tail. Wouldn't stay back there. Sorry, guys. But gets swished with the tail and says, no, it's just a little branch with a leaf. That's what it is. It's like a tree. And then the other one says, no, and he feels the elephant's, there we go, ears. Thank you. See, you have heard this story. He feels the elephant's ears. He says, no, it's like a palm frond. And I feel the shade. It's like a fan. And they start to argue. No, it's a tree. It's a vine. It's a pillar. It's a leaf. It's a palm frond. Hello. And they argue and they argue and they argue. And then finally, Bob's, caretaker says, no, folks, you're all right. All of you are correct. It's just a matter of where you are standing in that moment. And so they start to shift. This Bob, you see Bob? They start to shift. And then they each start to see and feel what the other one felt. You are all at different places right in this moment, right? Well, literally, physically, you're over there, and you're over there, and you're way back there. But you're all coming from different places. You have different relationships with Judaism. You have different circles of friends. You have different hobbies. Camp only thrives when all of you come together. When camp brings you from where you are, your Judaism, your identity, that's what makes our camp community so special. Camp sees your perspective, where you are, and you get to share it with others. And that's what makes camp so special. It's not up here. It's not the swag we've got. Come check out our swag. It's all of our campers and our camp community. And I really, really, really hope that you will come and be a part of Camp Newman this summer. My daughter will be there. I'm a camp parent. There's lots of different funding options for first-time campers. So if you've never been to a Jewish sleepaway camp, come talk to me and let's get you some money so you can go. We've got lots of camp families here in this room. It sounds like this is a really, really, really active camp community. Whether you come to Newman or you go to a different Jewish summer camp, camp will be a home for you, and it only works when we all come together. I'll be outside as well. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much for welcoming us.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm ready to go to camp tomorrow. Is anybody ready to go? Yes. All right, yeah. Is that they say, I start looking forward to camp the day after camp ends, right? February, we're not so far off. Well, I'd like to invite us now to turn our thoughts to those in our community who have died in recent days or in this season in years past. We know that there's many ways to add meaning to our gatherings and many reasons why we come together. And one of them is for strength in those memories, and one of them is for sweetness in those memories. And so, together, our hearts go out to those in our community who are observing Shiva and Shloshim, the 7 days and the 30 days after the death of someone near to them. And so as we remember Franklin Rayer, our hearts go out to Jay and Beth and Scott, Miriam and Leah. As we remember B. Aaron, and together we remember Salvador Mayo, and our hearts go out to Howard and Dove, Shelby, Max, and Ruby. I'd like to invite us also to turn our hearts to those whose yahrzeit falls on this Shabbat, the anniversary of their death. So together we think of Sylvia Ash and Lena Bear, Harriet Bell and Mira Berger, Jenny Berman, Mazel Tov Barrow, Maurice Kodosh, Audrey Cohen, Avern Cohen, Maurice Davis, Norman Feldheim, Adolf Hirsch, Mary Kaga, John Kerr, Lawrence Lasker, Richard Leff, Eugene Lensner, Nancy Locks, Kathy Meltzer, Louis Mosenson, Judy Namek, Ralph Polsky, Rima Robb, Murray Saltzman, Brenda Schoenbrunn, Toby Scharzer, Thelma Shevik, Norman Sloman, Harold Spellins, Zelda Stotland, Michael Strock, James Welber, and Hyman Wasatsky. If you're joining us online, I'd like to invite you to share the names of those that you are thinking of in the chat at this time. And for those of us here in our sanctuary, if there's someone that you are thinking of, I'd like to invite you to share the name of that person as my eyes meet yours. Well, I'd now like to invite all of us to turn to page 294, where we'll find the words of the Mourner's Kaddish, and to please rise in body or in spirit together as one. Yitgadal, Yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, Ve'almad Yivarach Yurtei Ve'amlich Malchutei, V'chayachon V'yomechon U'b'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, V'agala U'bizman Kari V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Leolam Omei Maya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei Dekudisha Barichu, Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechamata, Damiran V'yalma V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah Min Shemaya, V'chayim Alinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Osei Shalom B'mramav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Alinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, V'imru, Amen. There are ways to find comfort after the death of someone near to us. And perhaps the sweetest is to stand in a room with many generations and to see them share words that have been passed from generation and generation before us, and to see those words on the lips of generations and generations to come. May the memories of those inspiring us continue to inspire us, and may we see their work in the new eyes and generations we see in front of us. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be a blessing. We continue now with our closing song. Cantor Cooper, what is our closing song for tonight? We have board announcements before. Please be seated. Would anyone with the name Scott Sterling like to come up? Sorry.
Good evening, everybody. Tomorrow morning, join Rabbi Fox and Cantor Cooper at El Dorado Nature Center for a weekly Torah study beginning at 8:45 a.m. and then at 10 a.m. for Shabbat Midbar hike and meditation. This Sunday, February 5th at 1 p.m., our sisterhood invites the congregation to join them online as they welcome Laura Lee Gold, the president of the Jewish Genealogy Society of LA, who will speak on the topic Jewish immigration and the Ellis Island name change myth. On Tuesday, February 7th, we have 2 JJL programs. Our Taste of Hebrew Conversation class begins, offered weekly at 5:45 p.m. And at 7 p.m., join us for our Jewish Cooking in America Session 1, a totally hippie Tu B'Shvat. Lastly, next weekend, plan to join us for our 99th birthday weekend, February 10th to 12th, as we welcome Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter Cantor Doug Kotler, who will be leading us in services, entertaining our tour center, and performing at our 99th birthday celebratory concert. Please RSVP if you plan to join us. We have many classes and programs that meet weekly, so make sure you read your Shabbat program or view our calendar on our website. If you ever have a question about how to attend one of our classes and programs, look for our emails or call the temple office, and our staff is happy to help you. Shabbat Shalom.
I'd like to offer a special thanks to all of our students who taught us this evening. There is no better way to learn than from our students. A special thank you to our youth choir for leading us this evening. Thank you so much to our youth choir.
Thank you to David York.
A special thank you to David York for leading with us on this team. It's always such a joy to be together. Thank you to Paul for setting up the sound for this evening.
Yay, Paul.
In just a moment, everyone, we're going to be concluding our service after we do Motzi and Kiddush. A reminder to our 5th and 6th grade families. 5th and 6th graders are sleeping at the temple. Aren't you all, with me and the teachers, aren't you all jealous? No, it's going to be super fun. So 5th and 6th graders, it's now 7:44. At 7:55, we'd like you to be in Albin Hall, where we'll be having pizza and start our fun. If you haven't put your stuff in the social hall, please do that, your sleepover stuff. And we'll gather together in about 10 minutes. Thank you very much.
I'm so hungry. Me too.
Okay, all right. Well, let's offer our blessing. You want to come up with me? Let's offer our blessing for our sweetness, all of our rituals, a reflection of the feelings that we have, this one being the sweetness of this day. Baruch atah.